So I guess I'll talk a little bit about the gear I'm wearing. You guys probably see there is a large hump in my back, and that is because I have the Alpinestars Tech Air 5, so it is one of their, at this point it's older, airbag vests. I am like kind of all the gear all the time, dude, but you know, I don't judge. You guys can wear whatever the heck you want. I'm not your mom. But I prefer to just be, there are a lot of deer and crazy shit around here and bad drivers, so I just prefer to be protected. Even on a hot day, I never overheat. I know some people, their reasoning is like, you know, it gets too hot to wear gear, but there is quite a bit of evidence that shows, you know, if you are above a certain temperature, the gear actually makes things better. So, you know, because you don't have direct sunlight on your skin, which basically cooks you alive when you're sweating. But, again, you know, I don't really care. I'm just saying what I'm using. So I have the Tech Air 5 vest, and above that I have, gosh, I don't even know what the model is. I believe it's the Sedici Corsa 2 jacket. So that is one of Revzilla's brands, I believe. And yeah, I love this thing. It is CE2 rated. It's a nice mesh jacket for riding all season, really. Depending on where you live, of course, but it is CE2 slide and impact rated, so pretty solid ratings for typical street riding. Before this, a lot of the gear I had was CE level 1, and something didn't sit right with me knowing that I was only protected at 30 mile per hour or whatever it is, 25 mile per hour slide. Whereas this is like 50 to 60 mile per hour slides. So I wanted to upgrade to the 2, and yeah, this, you know, it doesn't feel like you're wearing much more. It does have more defined shoulder and elbow pads, as you could probably see from the camera. And then for my gloves, I have the exact same basically model. Like, they're the Sedici Corsa 2 gloves, and they have palm sliders, carbon knuckles, the whole bit, and they are gauntlet gloves. So I do have a couple other lighter pairs of gloves, but I wear these as much as possible just because they have the palm sliders, and my other gloves don't have the palm sliders, so I prefer to have that. It's just a little added on thing. Like, I think if you get gloves, you should just get palm sliders. There's really no reason not to, because if you do fall, like, usually the first thing that you put down, like, you know, naturally would be your hands. So having those palm sliders, you know, just increases the potential for you to not, you know, break fingers and you know, God knows what else. But it is just added protection that, you know, there's no reason not to have at this point, since they've, you know, kind of invented it. In terms of what I'm wearing on my pants here, so I actually just recently picked these up. I have a couple other pairs of pants. These are the Street and Steel jeans. They are CE2 protection. They have, you know, I forget, I think it's D30 knee pads and D30 hip pads that you can buy for them. So I have those on. They're very comfortable. Believe it or not, they do breathe a good amount of air through, even though they're jeans. So yeah, I really like these. You know, they might look a little dorky because they're like blue jeans, but I like them. I also have some other Merlin, I believe they're called Raid riding pants. So Merlin is a pretty solid, I believe they're like British or like Norwegian or something, but they're a pretty solid brand. I have a couple Alpinestars jackets as well. Like I said, they're actually CE level 1. So I wear them if I'm looking for, like, you know, just doing like a little bit of a lighter ride. But anytime I'm like, you know, I'm going, I like to have on the more protective stuff, just for slide resistance for the most part, you know, because I do have my airbag vest. So yeah, those are those. I have in terms of my shoes, I have the Alpine Stars Sector. Gosh, I don't know what else is added on the name there, but they are the Sectors, and yeah, they are very comfortable. You know, I think they're like a nice little hybrid between like a riding boot and a riding shoe. They do have, you know, the hard toe and hard heel compounds on them, and they are CE rated. I think the only thing that's level 1 on them would be, I think it's not the slide, I think it's the ankle protection is level 1, yeah. So if you have full race boots, those are always going to be level 2 at least for your ankle protection. But if you do get anything that's not like all the way up to your calf, you do have to kind of sacrifice that you're not going to have full ankle protection. So that is something to note, right? Like, technically I could get full race boots, but I don't know, I don't race. So just for casual street riding, you know, like, I feel like these have always done the job well. They're very comfortable. Like, I could wear them into, you know, any type of walk, like when I get off my bike, and like I don't feel like, you know, I need to swap shoes or something like that. Not that I would have any room to bring extra shoes with me anyways, but you know, so these are good all-day riding shoes, or I should say, like, kind of boots, but definitely like them. For my helmet, I have a Shoei RF 1400, and this is, gosh, I forget what the colorway is called. I think it's called the Fearless colorway. So it's like white basically with like bluish, purplish accents with like dragons on the side. A very Japanese-esque design language to it. Really love this helmet, man. Like, I had before this, I just had like a starter Bell helmet, and I mean, if you know Shoei, like, everyone always says, like, just go with a Shoei or an Arai. I finally understand what they mean. You know, before I was like kind of in denial because I was like, oh, you know, how could I spend $700 on a helmet? But yeah, I mean, it's game changing when you get a really nice helmet. Like, couldn't recommend getting a nice helmet, and you know, it really doesn't matter too much about the brand. Like, I think it's one of those things, and I hate to say it, but like, if you spend more, you're gonna get more. So whether you go with an Arai, a Shoei, you know, even some of the new Alpine Stars or Bells or HJCs, you know, just go for the higher end model and just buy once and don't have to buy another one like me or like some riders. I really only got that helmet because I bought it when I bought my bike, and it was the first bike I ever owned. So I needed something, right, like, to get that bike home. But yeah, the Bell was cool. I mean, it, you know, did its job, put it that way. I saved it just in case, you know, I ever need another helmet. But yeah, this thing is just, it is amazing. You know, it looks really cool too. So I definitely recommend a Shoei RF 1400. I know that, I believe their model is going, you know, away at some point. I think they're just upgrading it and making new versions of it. So, you know, take note of that. But I also got it, you know, on sale, I believe. So it's a good time to buy them because I think they're making, some of the last ones they made are in the year 2025. So good time to get them if you're interested in this specific model. But I know they just came out with a new, more budget friendly model as well. So if you want something like that, you can always get the cheaper option. But you know, just know that it's still Shoei, and they make good shit. So